Yo. Beep, beep, beep. Where's my... Kid stole my horn. Stole my horn. Filthy. I don't know why they want to hurt me. All right, guys. Let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's do a switch here. Let me... Let's remove the desktop. All right. Wait for a few people to get in here. We got 11 people queued up. I got the overhead cam going, so I'm going to blow that up. And we're going to talk about a few things. There's going to be a massive event tomorrow. Huge. On the Collector Arthouse YouTube channel, right? So I'm showing the Spellcraft cards here. I did a separate video where I walked through what these Spellcraft cards are. And I wanted to bring it up again because we're starting to find curios, which is really awesome. Actually, you know what? Let's zoom a little bit. I'm going to show some art today, whatever your time zone is. A few things that we will likely not see tomorrow because it won't be fitting with the cards that were pulled in the case that I'm going to show. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Yeah, so I'm going to show some art today. And then tomorrow, as I'm showing the cards from this, these are almost all of the biggest hits from a full case opening, 6 boxes. So all of these top loader cards right here, these are all foil cards. So these are going to be showcased tomorrow. I wanted to clarify this because on the, I'll say this right up front because if people watch this back, they sometimes watch the early part of the video and not the rest. So I just wanted to show the magnitude of how many foils we're going to look at here. Probably upwards of 50 to 60 foils. There's like 8 to 10 per box, 6 boxes. You're talking about 60 foils, right? So we're going to show those tomorrow. We're going to go through those in detail. We'll see a ton of the foils. They're going to look beautiful. We'll do them under close magnification so you could really get an appreciation for the amazing foil detail that was done on these cards. But I wanted to make it clear because a lot of people were confused in the Facebook comments that we're not going to do like a live box opening. You can imagine I opened up one box. It took me 2.5 hours. And I had some special... I had, what, 14, 16 guests? I think it was 12 artists or 14 artists. 12 to 14, let's call it. And then Eric came on and Simon from the company. So we had a great time, great opening, but it took like 2.5 hours. There's no way I could open a full case live. Although I'm getting several cases, so I might actually just have like a marathon day and ship the kids off and the wife, maybe they'll go to the pool or something and come back like 6 hours later. We might get it done. But the case is opened, and what happened here is I collaborated with a community member that was fortunate enough to open a case already. So I asked them, hey man, I will pay your shipping both ways. Send me all of the hits from your opening. And fortunately, this person agreed, and now we have the opportunity to do this epic reveal of all of the hits to give kind of like a representative sizing of what you might expect from a full case opening. So there's a ton of foils. Right here we have, let me get rid of these. He packed this very nice, very securely with all these spacers in the box. So this is very tightly shipped. And right here, we have an unbelievable set. The hits in this box and all the boxes we've been seeing online are incredible. But these are all predominantly unique cards. We're going to see tons of uniques, and I'll go through these one by one tomorrow. And some of the big-time elites, too, you know, because some of the Alchemy 9 are elites, so they're a big deal. So we want to see those. We will see those tomorrow. And as we're doing that, if I have artwork, original artwork, or hand-embellished prints from those artists, we're going to showcase those on the channel too, to bring a unique flavor that we like to do at Collector Arthouse here, just to differentiate. You know, that's kind of my niche, a little different from other channels featuring the artists and the artwork. So that's what we'll do. And in that vein, so what I wanted to do here today, I wanted to clarify what's going to happen tomorrow. We have the Spellcraft cards. If you guys want to comment in the chat here, I can show some of these Spellcraft cards again and talk about what those are if you guys missed my prior live. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Good to see you, man. So you got these awesome Spellcraft cards, and we could talk about that background a little later after we get to a few other things. But what I wanted to show and feature are a few artworks that we won't get to tomorrow because these were not pulled in the case that I'm going to reveal, okay? So the first thing here, some of the artwork of, okay. So this one here, I featured this in a prior video. Let me zoom out so you can see it all, and then I'll zoom in so you can see what it is. So this actually, man, I got art everywhere. Yeah, Yeah, let me show it like this first, okay? So in the vein of the, actually, should we, let's go desktop real quick. Add to stream. All right. I'll get to this in a minute. I want to build up to this. So if I pull up the website here, this is the Sorcery Contested Realm community group. It says 1,800 members. It's probably a little, I don't know if you guys can see this well, but we're actually not quite at 1,800. We're getting damn close, which is exciting. But I think we're at roughly, I see it slows down probably when I'm live streaming. But we're at 1,766 members. So that was a big surge. We just hit 1,700, but there's a ton of excitement. A ton of people are posting in the community group here. And if you look through, so here I am announcing my event. That's what we're doing right now. But tomorrow, we're going, all right, so what's been going on is a lot of people from Canada have been posting like mind-blowing hits, like unbelievable pulls that are coming across these decks. So I don't know if it's a collation issue or what's going on, but we've seen 4 Curio cards. In all of the content creator reveals, we don't think we saw any Curio cards. And now that we're getting a sense for what Curio cards are, it's kind of, it's interesting because I did an article on that on Collector Arthouse, right? Let's go to that real quick because I wanted to point out that like some of the things I speculated on were roughly accurate. So that's pretty cool. Of course, I wasn't like spot on. I was completely shooting in the dark. We had no idea what curios were. The company only said that curios are something relating to the historical development of the game. So that's literally all we knew. And then you just kind of had to infer based on, you know, how close you've been following the project, right? So Sorcery Contested Realm Curios. I wrote this on May 15th, 2022 at collectorarthouse.com. So let's take a look at that, right? So here, this was an amazing promo picture that the company put out way back when. Really amazing. So yeah, so here we go. Like they previewed this in the Kickstarter campaign, so we thought we might get the sketch card from Francesca Berald for the Eric's Curiosa, and we did get it. However, it wasn't, they kind of teased it in this partial colored, you know, she probably sketched it. What some of the artists do is they sketch onto the canvas or whatever medium they're working on, or kind of like roughly outline the painting, and then they paint over top. So this looks like it might have been a progress photo. Some of the other artists also sometimes work digitally to kind of frame it out and play with different color concepts and things like that, and then paint. I want to say maybe Alan Pollock uses that as part of his process because he's a very skilled. He's very skilled at traditional painting and digital. He's done a lot of digital for book covers and things like that. But this was teased in the Kickstarter stretch goals, and we saw this curio outline. And, you know, we thought this might have just been kind of like representative marketing and promo. At least that's what I thought. I wasn't sure that they would actually do sketch cards. But we got a full sketch card of Francesca's amazing, beautiful Eric's Curiosa. And then this was fully sketched in the Curio, and kind of this looks like it's a process image because it's partially painted or colored here, unless that was done digitally, again, as part of the process. So some other things. Coincidentally, it kind of actually this was more about the name titles. So Eric had mentioned ages ago in the Discord that there was, and I might do a further video on curios. I'm kind of going on a tangent here, but if you guys are into it, I'll keep rolling. Shout if I'm boring you to tears, but it's kind of interesting to reflect on this article because I really haven't looked at it, and it's been a full year. So the Rateness Titan, and Eric mentioned in the early days on the Collector Arthouse, not the Collector Arthouse Discord, the official Sorcery Discord, that someone was asking, are there references to Path of Exile in the game? And the only one that he acknowledged was the name Rateness Titan. And you know, there's a map in Path of Exile. You're looking at it here called what is it? I didn't play. I was a Diablo guy. I probably shouldn't say that, but there's a place called Ray in Path of Exile and Ray class, right? Or the Ray part from Rateness Titan we think relates to the Ray class that you see in Path of Exile. So that name Rateness Titan, I think he kind of coyly said, you know, maybe subliminally there was that correlation. Maybe it was intended, maybe not. But that's one correlation. The map here, I thought I kind of like did some research and studying to see the map on the back of the Atlas cards. And let me see if I have an Atlas card. Here's a Spellcraft version, but just to kind of show you, there's this map that's on the back of the Atlas cards, right? So I asked Francesca Berald, you know, do you remember what the reference image was for that? And she didn't remember off the cuff. This was a while back. I had asked her. But I thought maybe that correlated to Path of Exile potentially. And I found this map that was kind of interesting and loosely, similar and representative, I thought. So there's that. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about here. So you look at this map from Path of Exile and then this map from Sorcery. And I could be way off here, but, curio potential. I was kind of shooting the gamut here is where I speculated that maybe you'd have sketch cards. Imagine, so these are the sketch cards by Severin Pignot, an incredible, amazing French artist. And I'm going to show some of her artwork here on this live preview. Of course, I own her Avatar of Fire artwork. And if I pull this down for a minute, this was kind of missed in my box opening. But I showed the Avatar of Fire, and I showed that to Severin for the first time, right? And I showed it on stream for the first time reveal of it. But I was what I was saying, and a lot of people didn't pick up on this, that I actually backed at the Avatar of the Realm pledge level. So this is what I received with this painting. It's hand signed by Eric. It says, "Hello, Michael. My name is Michael Servati," and that's a painting I received. So I'm gonna, tell a story on that in a separate video. Maybe after I hit 1,000 subs on the channel. Something I always forget to say. Please like and subscribe to the channel and comment so you get more visibility for the channel. But maybe a 1,000 sub celebration. I'll tell my story of how I backed Sorcery Contested Realm at such a significant level, what kind of inspired me to do so, and there we go. So anyway, that's an interesting story in and of itself, but that'll take time. All right, so imagine if we saw sketch cards of the elemental avatars. They're beautiful sketches by Severin, so I'd love to see that as a curio. This one is super popular. Obviously, the Mystic Dream Quest, and since it was very prevalent in promotional material at Eric's Curiosa and on the official website and things like that, I speculated maybe we'll see Elvira's amazing process piece or a sketch, or this is kind of like a partially completed image or a process painting. There's some color, but it's rough. It's not complete. You can see on the back of the card, it doesn't have all the detail laid in just yet. So that would be fantastic. What a boomer. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, boomer? What's the problem? What did I mess up? My tech probably sucks, right? All right, so I got, these were some early commissions. Eric said there was probably a licensing issue with this where he doesn't have the license from Dan Frazier. He owns the copyright for these, but these were early paintings that he commissioned from Dan Frazier pre-Sorcery, where he's playing around with making his own custom cards and that kind of thing. So again, early stage development type things. This was another card, the Belfry by Drew Tucker, that was kind of, when they announced the Curio stretch goal, that was another card that was previewed. So I think I asked Drew about that, and there was one from Winter River, I want to say, from Matt Thames. I asked Matt about that. He said there was nothing particularly different or special, like in his opinion, relating to the historical development of the game, to his knowledge. So I'm not sure if we'll see one for that or not. But this I wanted to bring up. This is super cool. So Eric showed this in the Discord ages ago, and he called it an uber old school look at card design, right? So when we saw the 9-card curio, which is right here, and you could kind of make it out, right? Not too well on the small screen here, but if you go to the Sorcery Contested Realm Facebook community group, you could see that a couple fans posted this. 2 of these have been pulled, 2 curios, which is unbelievable. I was shocked to see that already. And it's 9 cards on 1 card. So these are very tiny. It's funny because I reached out to the guy and I was like, hey man, I want to do like a I want a clean image of this because I'm talking with the artist now directly, and I'm trying to get the story behind the art development of these pieces. And I'm gonna start. I'm gonna write an article, probably do a video, a detailed article and/or video talking about the background of these 9 pieces, or as many as I can decipher, unique information for, and really tell the story behind why those are curios and why they're different. But you notice a lot of difference with the symbology. You have these 3 lines, like a 3 casting cost, the power or toughness level is different. Where you have the resource cost is different. It's on the right here for this tower instead of down in the box. that portrait view or painting became a landscape illustration. So in the early days, they had portrait-style cards, even for the Atlas sites, and they changed those to landscape. So then as you're putting minions and things and spells and whatnot on top of the Atlas sites, it's more suitable to be able to do that without covering up the game mechanics and what you're trying to do with the underlying Atlas, right? The effect of the underlying Atlas card. So the windmill, I already talked to Elvira Polakowska about this, and she actually painted this windmill in portrait style originally, and then a few months later, so presumably a few months later when Eric decided on his change to the horizontal landscape style, he asked her to change that to a landscape portrait, and that's where you see the periphery, the broader landscape style painting that she did for the beautiful windmill. And that was actually, I think, the very first foil card that I pulled from my box, so that's pretty awesome. Like, I think that excites me more that I pulled a card that has that story behind it, that historical significance. It's kind of like, a curio in the regular alpha card of sorts. It's interesting, the Fire Maiden's there. I'm guessing that's more for symbology, although there's a few references on these cards to a legendary mechanic or minion type that doesn't exist anymore in the game. So there's a lot of history. I'm gonna delve into that in more detail. But getting back to the article, this is what reminded me of it. So it kind of harkened back to this image where the symbology was entirely different. The text box, the game mechanic, the type line text for one, dramatically different. That's been massively overhauled. This is more like Magic, where you have like a card type and then a very limited words there. Now this is very significant because you have both the rarity of the card is placed in the type line text, and usually a very flavorful one-liner that kind of relates to the card illustration and the game mechanic and the game title in some ways. So it's very unified and cohesive, and it makes the game much more flavorful and fun and experiential. So you had the art copyright Wayne Barlow. So again, in the early days, you had the copyright symbol. You have that on all the sample cards, the sample test print cards that we're going to be getting in the pledge tiers, some of the higher end pledge tiers. Those sample packs will have that. And then that's been changed to an alpha symbol, right? So that's a kind of curio throwback in a way. The symbol for the casting cost. So it kind of harkens back to that 9-piece card. So it turns out that actually was relevant. That's pretty cool. And Wayne Barlow, stay tuned. I don't know anything official, but I know Eric really wants to get him for a future set. And I speculated that this might be a painting that Eric actually commissioned from him or licensed from him to use. Or maybe he was just messing around, mocking up on that card. I don't know. All right, so a few more things. I'm going to skip through to see if there's anything else that really jumped out. I don't know, man. Predestination, beautiful epic card. It's now Kythera Mechanism. It's interesting because I have a lot of these early playtest cards. They kind of harken back to these Gamma cards. Not one for one. This is like Magic. Magic Gamma cards are kind of a really big deal. From the early development of a game that's 30 years old and played by many millions of people. But there's other things like we have artwork that was commissioned from 2 different artists. So here's an example, The Wrath of the Sea, really epic, beautiful artwork done by Matthias Frisk. And it was also commissioned by Elvira Polakowska, right? So there's a different version that was also commissioned as Wrath of the Sea. So it makes you wonder, will we see that as a curio? Will we see it as an alternate art in a future set? Probably not beta. I think beta is going to be largely a reprint with different curios, maybe entirely different curio concept, but almost entirely the same cards in the set with the exception of one. We know there's going to be one less than there was in alpha, and people are speculating that could be Eric's Curiosa. The fact that there's a sketch card with Eric's Curiosa in there kind of makes that also pretty intriguing, and maybe a tip of the hand to say maybe this is pretty special and not going to be in beta. But we have different artworks commissioned by 2 artists, and there's many cases of this. I'm actually going to I'm trying to think if I have another example of that. I thought I did. Let me see if it comes to me. But yeah, several artists, several fit that category. All right, so that's the gist of the article. That's at collectorarthouse.com in the interviews and articles page. So I would recommend going and have a look at that. The Facebook group's blowing up. If you guys are on Facebook, if you're not anti-Facebook, definitely go join the Sorcery Contested Realm community group. Pushing 1,800 members, so it's really exploding. It's been doing great for a while. Here's the River Styx. Quick look at this if you're not on Facebook. So this is the curio that someone pulled for River Styx. And what I was just talking about, you had the casting cost in the upper right-hand corner, which, of course, that is the power level now. And you have the mana resource cost in the upper left-hand corner. So that's a big change. The legendary site, we don't have legendary sites anymore. So that's very different. This card has now, it used to be called River Styx. It was actually in the Landscape Atlas. It was an Atlas site in the early days. I don't know if there's been sample cards of that, but we saw it in like Tabletop Simulator and maybe the print and play, I want to say, early on. There's definitely images of that. Vincent in my Collector Arthouse Discord shared that in the Discord earlier today. So that's another site you guys want to, or in another Discord channel you want to check out, Collector Arthouse Discord. We got people showing reveals there constantly as well, and a lot of fun discussion and speculation going on there. It says art copyright. Is that a copyright symbol? Wow. So actually, I'm just noticing that for the first time, and I don't know. I guess you could argue that's part of the throwback. It's a copyright symbol. I don't know if anybody noticed that. So it says art copyright Elvira Palakowska. So you could argue in the early days that's how it was, or that could be an oversight, and that should be an alpha symbol to signify it's from the alpha booster boxes. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. We have 23 people in the chat. Do you think that's another error or miss? And really that should have been intended to be an alpha symbol? Or do you think that's intentional as a throwback to having the copyright symbol on there in the early days? That's really fascinating. But this is a beautiful artwork. It comes in the pledge pack, I believe it is, in foil. So someone was actually just commenting in the Facebook community group that it's kind of like a bummer that this text box covers up. There's like a reflective shadow here. I shouldn't reach on my monitor. So using the cursor, I don't know if that comes across, but where the text box is, there's a reflective shadow from this guy walking out. And you can kind of see it at the bottom of his figure there in the image. And it's covered up by the text box, and this person was saying it's a shame you can't see that. But this is going to be foil in the pledge pack with a full art back, so you will actually see that, and that'll be prominently featured. And since it's now a Death's Door mechanic, you could actually play it full art because you know exactly what that card does, what it's used for in the game, and yeah, so you're going to see that prominently featured. Yeah, so you saw it earlier, Sophie. That's cool. I thought it was intentional as a throwback. Yeah, Vrilla says it was probably intended. Just a copy paste of the old design. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, that could have been right out of like an old print file that they had. So yeah, good on you, Sophie, catching that earlier. I just looked closer for the first time. That jumped out. So I went looking through the archives here, and I found this is another example where this is the original sketch for starters that Elvira Palakowska had done. Here you get some of the reflective elements like I was talking about, and she did not get a artist proof card for this. Elvira is one of the artists that I'm working with. Both, if people mix up the names a lot, it's Elvira Shakarova, and I'm probably mispronouncing her first name and been doing it all along. She's never corrected me. Maybe she's being polite. And then we have Elvira Palakowska, who is in Poland. And she did this one, right? But since it's in a pledge pack and it's kind of like a promo-y type card, I guess, they decided not to do an artist proof for this one. So it's unfortunate because it's her favorite artwork and it's a very significant card. I wish that would have been an artist proof and seen her sketch this. But what I was getting at is she sent me the first round. She's done a sketch of, I think, every single artist proof, every card that she has in Alpha, which is probably close to 20, maybe roughly 20 cards. She did receive artist proofs for, and she does this very detailed, because she's kind of like an architect and an artist, very detailed architectural drawings, detailed line drawing sketches on the back of these cards in ink, and they look absolutely beautiful. A lot like this, but even actually more detail than you're seeing here. And then this was the original in portrait form, right? And then the reflective shadow. So that's really cool that became a curio. So anyway, I digress on that. I'm going to research the 9 cards and tell some stories about the history there. But just to give you guys a flavor, a lot of action going on, a lot of reveals as people are finding hits. first foil Philosopher's Stone, absolutely stunning and incredible. Here's the River Styx again. Yeah, a lot of action, a lot of fun. All right, so let's kill this freaking thing. Let's go to the webcam. Oh, yeah, she has Prince of Architectural Elements. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I know she has. Her artwork's actually very affordable. And both the sketches and paintings and things like that. So, all right, so let's go. Let's change this layout here. That's probably why he called me a boomer earlier. Bastard. So, another example, just as we were talking about it, right? So, Andrea Modesti. I'm going to show you the original painting for this one because I may or may not show it tomorrow, so we'll just have a look at it. But this was originally done in portrait mode, the original painting by Andrea. And I asked him if he could please send me a print so I could feature this on my channel. And you know what? I'm pretty sure it's a print. Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's. Yeah, it's definitely not an original painting. It makes it feel like that way because I'll show you the original in a minute. It was done on this art paper like that. And beautiful in portrait mode, but even better in landscape mode. So I'll show you the difference in a moment. But I asked them to send this to me so I could tell this story. And now this is perfect as we know that there will be curios like this. So it makes you wonder, do you think we will see a curio of the Humble Village? I mean, this is another card that went from portrait style to landscape. So it makes me wonder if we will see maybe a few different variants of the 9 cards in one where we had artworks that went from portrait to landscape. Or, you know, maybe the 1/9 piece already tells a story and we'll have more variability. But there's other cards that have this potential. Several examples of this across the set. And that is one. All right, so I'll show that. Let me grab my art book. All right, guys. All right, so I think I can fit this under. Try to zoom out. And what I wanted to show you, this is my art folio because I don't have my paintings framed just yet. And I got to slip it under the microphone, so it's a little tricky. And I want to save one of them for tomorrow. One of my very favorite paintings. But let me show you this one for starters. Carefully shift it. We have precious cargo inside. This is the original painting of the Humble Village that you just saw. All right, so we have it in landscape mode, a print, just a print, right? And then we have the beautiful Humble Village by Andrea Modesti, and that is the original. Look how gorgeous the look how gorgeous the color is on that. Absolutely stunning. It's like having a basic land from MTG Alpha, in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says. It has special meaning, and just the artwork looks incredible. It stands alone outside of the game. It'll display beautifully. And then there's some other. Hang on a second. I don't want to spoil everything in this folio. All right, you'll be excited about this. Also, what I have here, and this shifted a little bit when I held it vertically, but this is one of the original sketches for the beautiful Moxes by Elvira Shakarova. The Mixes. Look at that. So she told the story on her channel, or actually on my channel, when I had her on for an interview, about how she submitted multiple variations to Eric. So you have F1, W1, I'm not sure what was meant by that, F2, F2, F3, F4. So she showed him typically 3 different variants. And this looks like it was a couple things here. So we probably have the Mix Ignis. It's very clearly this is the Mix Ignis. These might have been some alternate versions of those. And what she's doing is super cool on the artist proof cards that she's doing is she's leveraging these concepts that were, I don't want to say rejected by Eric, but not chosen for the final piece. Like he liked one of the others better, and this was the final one that was selected. But she has these alternate versions that she's going to do some artist proof concepts on there. So it'd be a throwback to the early development, some of the different design concepts she was playing with when she settled on the final version. So these art proofs will be very special. This looks like it could be the Mix Air. These two, some alternate variants. So you might see a couple of those. And several sketches of hers. I don't want to spoil them all in one shot. But can we zoom in a little? Oh, yeah. So I think I got you covered there. Yeah, the arm holder. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Another thing I wanted to show real quick. So we'll have two things. Hey, what's up, Nerd and Profit? What's up, man? Showing off some art. You missed some good stories. You're going to have to watch it back. So I showed this yesterday. I did it a very last second on my iPhone live on just the Facebook group. So that's another reason to be in the Facebook group. You're going to see me pop in there and just, wing it and go live if I need to show something. So there's two things here, and these are going to be auctioned possibly together. I need to talk to Marta Molina about this. Yeah, and I apologize for the arm here. This is, for some reason on StreamYard, it doesn't want to let you do a full inversion like I could do on OBS. And this isn't going to come out great. But this is the original sketch for Mountain Explorers from the original painting. Very large, so I kind of got to zoom. So just forgive the arm for a minute. But that is the original sketch for Mountain Explorers. And I got art everywhere. It's a juggling act. And then she did this beautiful recreation, homage painting to the Mountain Explorers. So this is actually a full traditional painting. And I think when I auction these, they'll probably be offered together. Just got to run that by Marta. But this is a beautiful artwork. Mountain Explorers is an alpha. It's an alpha card. And it's really cool. All right. So I don't know the timing on that one just yet. We got some other things going on. I am going to, before I show more art. All right. Announcement time. We got 20 people on here. We're 30 minutes in. So if people watch back, maybe they'll have attention span to get through this. I'm going to do an auction. I'll kick it off tonight. And so a lot of people have been talking and speculating. What are the valuations of these new foil cards and foil uniques in particular? How do we value these, right? They haven't popped up for sale yet, but we're going to auction one on the Sorcery Contested Realm community Facebook group and mirrored in the Collector Arthouse Discord. And when this posts, after that we're done with the live here, the video will post, and in the description you'll be able to find the links to my link tree where you can sign up for those forums or come join us on the community group and in the Discord. But we're going to do an auction for a huge foil unique card. Ready? So I'm going to show it right now. Frank Frazetta's Ruler of Thol. Amazing, epic Frazetta foil. One of the few uniques. I think there's three foil uniques from Frazetta in this set. The Death Dealer, the Ruler, and the Egyptian Queen. So this is a sick card. The mechanic is phenomenal. I think this is going to be, I don't know. The gamers could tell you how meta relevant this is, but let's just study it, right? So it costs 4 to cast, 2 water threshold, so reasonable early to mid game casting costs, 3 toughness. Epically, like all the Frazetta uniques, or at least this in the Death Dealer, it says a unique mortal of hibernal majesty. So a unique mortal. That's just like it says on the Frazetta Death Dealer card. I think we might get a look at one of those tomorrow. So you're going to have the Ruler. And again, this will be coming up for auction within the next couple hours. I'll do a 24-hour auction. It'll close tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. I usually do 24 hours, 8 to 8. So the Ruler of Thol, it has charge. Allies can move as if the top and bottom edges of the realm were connected. Other allies occupying sites there have +1 power. So the flavor in that and the game design is absolutely epic because you have from the top and the bottom of the realm, right? So let's take a look at the contested realm. Your cards align to the bottom and the top of the realm can traverse this is like a line of soldiers, right? Traversing the realm Pac-Man style and coming across, and they have +1 power. So you're bringing in the reinforcements, and the Ruler is leading the charge in Frank Frazetta glory. And this is the guy that's making it happen. There's amazing card design, absolutely gorgeous artwork. And if we flip it over, we can appreciate Frank Frazetta's art in all its glory. The polar bears look absolutely epic. This card just completely pops. All the blues in the foils are absolutely stunning. Look at that. It just looks absolutely incredible as the light catches that. And of course, every card in its full art variant is going to be absolutely gorgeous. So imagine this guy leading the front lines and the flanking line from top to bottom across the realm with +1 power, leading the charge. And it has charge mechanic effect. Incredible. Love this. So we're going to see what a unique foil of significant magnitude of Rosetta is worth. And that'll be up for auction soon. Within the next couple hours, I'll get it posted. No later than 8 p.m. Eastern. We usually do 24 hours, 8 to 8. All right, so getting back to a few other art pieces that we're not going to see tomorrow. Again, if you're just joining, we're going to see all of these foils tomorrow. Tons of foils. All right? And then tons of like banger uniques and elites because you get a ton of those across the set. So that's going to be super cool. The next art piece I wanted to show here, I guess I already talked. Yeah, I talked about this one from the Elemental Avatar. From the Avatar of the Realm Pledge. I wanted to show again this gorgeous print from Severin Pignot. She sent this to me when I did an order for some Philosopher's Stone greeting cards that I am giving away to patrons. I think that's downstairs. I've been... Oh, no, it's on a tape. Hey, you want to see one of those? I think I showed one of these before, but I ordered these from Severin. I paid for a set of 100 copies of these, and there's about 66 Patreon members right now. So I'll be sending these out with some of the early playtest cards and things like that, and it's signed by Severin, every single copy. So awesome, very gracious of her to do that. The Philosopher's Stone, absolutely beautiful. And you saw that in the teaser video, some of the embellished prints that I do with Severin. I might save that for tomorrow. We'll talk about that more tomorrow and feature her art a little bit more. But I did want to show this gorgeous, this really gorgeous. This guy's persistent here. Good heart doesn't make us successful. TCG. Ban user and delete comments. Boom! Beat it, nerd. Gone. Kicked his ass out. He'll have a new account in like 5 minutes. I've already banned him before. Alright, so this gorgeous traditional painting, now print from Severin. Really appreciate her sending me that. Wanted to give you guys a look at that one. Alright, so getting back to curios, one that we saw on the card with 9 pieces inside was the Holmganger Champion, right? And I think it was called like on the mini. It's not a mini card. It's a regular size card with 9 mini curio artworks or throwback cards within it. And one is you have the Ormond Holmganger. And the reason this got reviewed, I almost bought the original painting. This is a hand embellished print, a series that I did with Vincent Pompetti, and I sold on these hand embellished print projects that I do with the artists I work with. I always offer priority to the patrons. Sometimes I'll auction. It's usually a 10 print series at the moment while the gaming community is small. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, it takes a lot of time, so I don't know if I'll ever do like more than 10. It's a lot of time for the artists to do hand embellished prints like this, especially in large scale size. So we do 10. I've auctioned 1 of 10 and 10 of 10 before. This one is one of the projects I did with Vincent. So this, I think, might have been the very first hand embellished print project that I did with an artist, Vincent Pompetti. And then I did the Philosopher's Stone. So on these ones, Vincent did some different accents here, and you can kind of see that on the rock and horizon here and on the outline of the shield, various embellishments like that. So the title of this card, how the story goes, is in Discord in the very early days, maybe like a year ago, I this guy back? You guys talking about that troll? So this is on the set of 9 cards, right? Or the new curio that we just saw. And the title says Ormond Holmganger. So Eric had been flexing his godly Magic the Gathering Alpha collection in the Discord. And he shared his Vault account, right? His Vault, where it lists all of the high-grade MTG Alpha cards that he has. And it was called Holmganger or something like that. And I looked that up, and it was like this. I think it's like is it Swedish? I forget which country. It's like a fighting style, right? A real like old school like fighting tactic. is where the name comes from. So this was called the Holmganger early on. I almost bought the painting from Vincent. I really regret that I did not. So next best thing I asked him if we could do an embellished print series. And I kept one copy. Sometimes, like with these artists, I'll do 10, and then I'll get like an artist proof version of it, and then I'll just sell the series of 10. So there's really 10 official copies out there in the wild. So on this one, it was called the Holmganger. That's where the name comes from, and that's kind of the early development name. That's how I made it in. Now this is called the Champion, and that is now in the game as a store innkeeper pledge backer card. So really awesome. Last thing I wanted to show. We'll show the elemental avatar. If you need trolls to sub, then that's sad. What does that even mean? Get out of here, you nerd bastard. All right, he's gone. I killed that guy. He'll be back in 5 minutes with a new account. All right. I got more stacks. I need trolls to grow my subs. I booted them and banned them, so it's not helping my sub count. All right, so the elemental avatars. This was another series of hand embellished prints I did with Severin, and these were really gorgeous because she did a lot of detail on these, and the accents were beautiful. She used these like shimmery silver colors. You kind of see. Let me just zoom in, even though you won't see the full thing, but it'll show nice under the lights, right? So you see the glisten off the eyes, off the lips. Beep, beep, beep. Moose Mystic. What's up, buddy? So look at that. The birds, the butterflies, the birds' feathers, they just glisten so beautifully under the right lighting. So we have the Avatar of Air, and someone just pulled this in foil. I listed a live short, and that is that is on the Collector Arthouse YouTube channel. Next, you have the Water Lady, the Avatar of Water, and the pearls are all accented with this silver shimmer. So that pops really nice. These are going to just display amazingly well. I showed some of these on the Collector Arthouse Discord page and in the Facebook group. So you see people getting them framed up and displayed. Incredible. All right. I own the original painting for the Avatar of Fire. This is the embellished print version. Really beautiful with the ember accents and the gold accents throughout. Let me just kick this guy in the face real quick. All right, ban. Dead. What a douche. Oh, did I ban the wrong guy? Oh, Pardukes. I banned the wrong guy. Commenting too fast. Pardukes, come back. I'll have to figure out how to unban the guy. I accidentally banned the wrong guy. I apologize. Clicking too fast. Pardukes, eh? So, we got the Avatar of Fire, beautiful. And lastly, the Avatar of Earth. It's kind of funny how that was in backwards order. This is the first one that was selected in the backer tiers. Beautiful artwork. So the hand embellished prints by Severin. They're very large. They don't show well on the screen. I got to get those fixed. How do I unban a guy? I feel bad. I banned the wrong guy. Innocent guy. I just kicked his ass out. Pardukes. How do you unban a guy? I don't know. All right. So what else we got here? Let me see. I think let's take a look at my sorry box real quick. Reflect back on the Library of Misses. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to show here. The beautiful windmill. And I'm very glad they went to landscape style. You see the blues just glisten off of that. So nice. Yeah, this just looks incredible. I think this was the very first foil that I pulled. It was one of the dual lands, so to speak, because it gives you the 2 mana thresholds. And it just looks amazing in foil and in full art. So there you have it, guys. It used to be portrait. It was kind of just narrower like that, right? And then we get this additional detail out on the border, and it just works better in the game. Tremendous. All right, so let's see. You can go to settings and unban. Okay. On YouTube? I'll have to hit you up later, Sophie, to figure out how to unban the guy. I feel bad. I probably banned him from my channel. Yeah, so that's it. This is going to be so pumped to open my 3 boxes. Yeah, dude. Yeah, this is super exciting. All the reveals that are coming out are amazing. I don't know. I got a little more time if you guys want to talk about the Spellcraft cards, because I'm not going to do that tomorrow. I got a lot of cards to show from this case break, so I want that to be the focus. I'm definitely going to mix in some art. We might even have a couple special guests. So if I could pull that off, we'll see what happens there. So we'll kind of play it by ear. You know, you never know what might happen in a Collector Arthouse live. A lot of things going on. Let's see. Just looking through the art pile. Got a lot of framing to do. Yeah. Love to hear a quick overview of the Spellcraft cards. Hey, what's up, Ethercept? Thanks, man. Yeah, like the video. The commenting helps, guys. Appreciate it to grow the reach. I'm trying to grow the channel to just to get to 130 would be incredible, and or to 1,000 viewers. You know, kind of as the game's releasing, and then or subscribers, and then you know I'll tell the story of how I backed Sorcery at the $10,000 Avatar of the Realm pledged here. So let's see. Let me catch up on chat. See what you guys have been yapping about here. All right, is it actually printed in China? Yeah. Yeah, some people are new to the game, but I mean, look at the freaking cards. They look incredible. So I could care less where it's printed as long as the quality's good and the cards look good. The foils look amazing. The design's awesome. The game's fun to play. So yeah, you guys were talking about Diablo. Daniel's here. A lot of the regulars. Appreciate it, guys. Scream 6 is out? That's insane. So I guess Jurgen had to leave. It's getting late in Europe. So thanks for popping in, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, 1,000 subs opens up some nice features in YouTube. Oh, yeah? That's cool. Yeah, I know there's like a monetization element at 1K. But if there's other features that help you with the channel, that I didn't even know that. Hopefully that's true. That's cool. I'll have to hit you up and learn more about that. Yeah. So the Spellcraft cards, these are, you know, imagine if we saw. We'll have to watch the back of cards as well, guys, because in the very early days before they settled on the Sorcery Contested Realm name, they were playing with the Spellcraft name. So these cards were printed locally by Eric in New Zealand in the very early days. I purchased them from a gentleman who helped with the game in the very early days, helped a lot with the flavor text and the type line text and things like that. So those are all things that could be curio potential as well, where we have different card title names. I mean, this is a bad example because that card's not an alpha. So let me find one that is an alpha. Actually, let's take a look and see if by chance we have any that are in the 9 card feature. So let me go back again to the Facebook page and remind myself which are in the 9 cards. So we had the Champion Holmganger. We know that's not going to be in there. We know the Avatar. Actually, I do have the Avatar, I have an early playtest edition of that. I don't have that in Spellcraft. We got some Vincent artworks. All right, so I think I have the Towers. So let's take a look and see if the Towers at the stage of Spellcraft were already an Atlas card in landscape form. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they were. Okay. So this is the tower that we saw from Mikhail. And yes. All right, guys. This is going to be interesting. All right, so this is what I wanted to show you. We have a Spellcraft card. Spellcraft Atlas card. And, you know, a few differentiators here. Of course, it's called Spellcraft. You know, I'll show you a regular. Look at that. Got the Lone Tower in the regular. This is the alpha from my alpha booster box opening. So you have Sorcery Contested Realm, obviously new name of the game, an Eric's Curiosa game that did not have that on the Spellcraft cards. It did not say an Eric's Curiosa game, and it did not say Sorcery Contested Realm, right? And then the pigmentation is different too, but that could be a function of printing. This is locally printed. This one is locally printed in New Zealand. This one printed from the Chinese factory. So it's a different hue of orange, just comes out of the printer different. And in this one for Alpha, they removed the names on the Atlas site, right? So in the early days, on the sample cards, they were going to get some more of those in the Kickstarter fulfillment. They have the names on the back and the sample cards, the names of these different regions. But in the Prime Alpha cards, they remove those names. So that's a big difference. Going back to the artwork specifically. So on the 9-piece Curio card, they have this artwork from Mikhail Nagy-Paul, and it is in portrait mode again. So again, this was done in portrait and then changed the landscape. I sent a message to Mikhail earlier today. He's going to go look on his computer and his digital archives of things he's imaged and different early versions of artwork that he did and see if he could find the early version of this card that I can share with the community in my article or in the video feature that I do about these curios, right? So he's researching that. Another distinct difference, if you guys go to the Sorcery Contested Realm page, actually, let me call it up here. I have it up, right? So looking side by side, this is it. I know it's tiny, so actually let me do this. Yeah, let's take a look here first. I guess that's probably as good as it's going to get. It's in portrait style. And then this little thumb in the lower left, you can see it's landscape style for the Atlas. But more than that, look at the mountainous regions in the back here. You know, how they kind of like elevate there. This was changed for Alpha. If I then, to keep that fresh in your mind, portrait style. And then, so it's a little more narrow. And then notice the background, the lighter blue background sky, and the more mountainous terrain in the back. And then I'm going to remove that, and then we'll go a little larger again over here. All right. So here you see those mountains were kind of flattened and minimalized, and the sky is a little more darker and more ominous. So now I don't know if Eric took the purest version. It could have just been templating on the 9-piece Curio card, where it's more representative of the original painting, and then Eric may have digitally darkened this, or perhaps when it could have been communication feedback between Mikhail Nagy-Paul and Eric to kind of really enhance and feature this a little differently, where they flatlined the background, so it makes the structure more prominent. You know, the point of this card is the tower, so that's more prominently featured. The sky's more darker, which kind of creates like a deeper contrast, which again I think makes the lighter grass. It looks dark kind of on the screen, but it's actually lighter in person. The grass is a little lighter, which makes this darker tower really pop out and look good. So, yeah, that's interesting. You know, the changes from the actually, you know what? This is a Spellcraft version. I apologize. We should actually be looking at. We shouldn't be going off of the Spellcraft cards for color composition. We really need to find the Alpha version. So yeah, another difference there was only called Tower, and I think I was looking at the thumb on my other screen for that card, and I think it might have been the same for that early version on the Curio. All right, so I don't have any Atlas cards there. Seems like there's some potential clumping or in the collation, some of these boxes based on what people are getting. One guy in 2 boxes got a ton of like unique Atlas cards, high-end Atlas cards, and several of them, which is not the norm. So I'm just scanning to see. Wow, these are all spell cards. Here's our first Atlas, but it's not the one we're looking for. I need to see if I have a Tower Atlas, and then we could look at those color values a little differently, because you're not going to appreciate it on these Spellcraft cards. They're much darker, much more different print quality when you just do it at a local Kinko's or whatever they have down there in New Zealand, where Eric got that done. Okay, so it looks like I have more sites in this pile, and hopefully we can find it. I know I drew. I pulled a few of those from Mikhail, but I don't know if I got that particular tower or not. So some of the people are saying, you know, the precons also have great value because you get all these basic lands, which are very important for gameplay. And that's true. I mean, it is great value when you're paying $50 for it, but when you're paying $350, I would say the value is absolutely in these booster boxes for a comparable price, even if you got to pay $400 or a little more than that, because you're going to get foils. And they're amazing and valuable. And you could get curios. And they're amazing and likely valuable. You know, it's kind of interesting. Some people didn't like the 9-on-1 card because it makes things so small. But it's fascinating history for the historians of the game. What happened to all my Atlas sites? You know what? I think I might have gave some away as I was sending them to patrons and community members who are contributing in the Sorcery Contested Realm community group. I think I did mail some of those off to folks. Well, actually, there's more cards here. So I might have gave away some of the Atlas cards because people are pretty into those. Excuse me. I could pull it from the pre-con decks, too. I guess that would probably be smart, but doing it the hard way. I got a card that fell down there. That's right. I sleeved up all my hits. Saw amazing Jussie artwork there. Nice Ian Miller card. Always makes you... The Phase Assassin. That's beautiful. So that's man, those Jussie cards really pop. I might... Look at the Pudge Butcher. I pulled one of those. I should probably sleeve that up. People love that card. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not in here. I didn't pull many of those basic lands, I guess, which makes sense. It's kind of what you'd expect to see. Yeah, so I'm hoping I could get an artist or two in the live stream tomorrow. Spoiler alert. I'd love to get a special guest or two to kind of spice things up a little bit, even though it's about the alpha cards and featuring the hits. So there you go. That's the history of these Spellcraft cards. Let's just take a quick look through and speculate if there's anything that seems like it could have curio potential in these cards. I don't think we're going to see like an artwork that is not in the alpha set or an artwork that's never been revealed before like this one. But I don't know. Curios are curios. We just have no idea what it's going to be. All right. So getting back here. The Pudge Butcher. All right, a couple Pudges. Wow, that's cool. I got two Spellcraft Pudge Butchers. That might be a special treat for somebody. The Ornithopter. Yeah, so there's plenty of potential for different card titles. I would recommend everybody pay very close attention to card titles. Very likely not to see artwork we have not seen before, I would guess. But, you know, perhaps you could... Squirming Mass. Look at that blue eye. Is that blue eye in the alpha version? This is making me curious now, because I hadn't noticed that before. Let me go to my website and look at the Brian Smith cards. And then if it is, and when we see it, because I got a second guess, because Brian changes his artwork all the time. You know, I think even recently he showed a version of Extinguish. Yeah. So it's interesting. I didn't notice it as prominently on the alpha version because it's a little more subdued in the alpha version. But in this printing of the Spellcraft card, it's deeper. It's a deeper blue, so it really stands out. That's pretty cool. Getting a lot of messages here. Hold up. It's people texting me here, and I'm live. All right. So, oh my God. The Fiery Inferno. This is going to be so sick. I really think there's going to be a Heaven and Hell or Angels and Demons type set, and this card is going to be in there. And it's probably going to be a sick card. But check this out, guys. This is big. Pay attention here. Spellcraft. Very, very early printing. We had a heads up on this. This could be a curio finding. And there it is. Legendary magic of massive destruction. So that keyword of legendary, that qualifier for a magic spell card, that is what we are seeing in the 9-card curios. So that mechanic. So that's amazing. So we got to have a closer look here and really study these spellcraft cards to see what other hidden gems we might have. So we have an ordinary act that works like magic and common sense. An ordinary act. I don't know if that's just a regular word or if that's implying a mechanic of some kind, but that's very interesting. Spellcraft. Ordinary magic in realms where dragons rule. I don't think there's anything. Splash damage. Still have that. An elite spirit that pulls the strings. A unique mortal. So we still have unique mortals. Talked about that with the Frazetta card. Ordinary relic of returning potential. Ordinary mortals. Elite insects. Elite insects. So that's interesting, guys. Curio potential. Minion types, right? We need to look for this. Could there be minion types that are different, that are curios? Elite insects surround your feet. The new card says elite beasts, wriggle and writhe. So the insects now change to beasts, okay? Now we have Bosk Troll. An ordinary troll. So it could be that and this did happen through the development, now that I think about it, the minion types did evolve through the tabletop simulator updates. So here we have an ordinary troll. I'm going to go look for the Vasily card. And yeah, maybe we'll do that. Let me pop this up. All right, so the beasts. This is where I saw the elite beasts. And now if I go to Sorcery Cards, CollectorArthouse.com, we're looking for Vasily or Malayev. And I'm gonna point out something interesting in a minute here, guys. The boss troll. I knew it was Vasily when I saw the artwork, right? An ordinary troll to gentle disposition. All right, so it's still an ordinary troll. All right, so let me kill this so you can see this large screen again. I'm going to show you something fascinating. This is where mistakes happen, issues happen, when print files change and you're using templating that isn't reflective of the final. See? Vincent Pompetti. Bosk's Troll by Vasily Ermolayev. So in these early spellcraft cards, it's telling us that there were issues with the print files. We had misattribution of illustrations to artist. And this happened. This was caught several cases in the sample cards. I provided some feedback to the company. Several other people in Discord did. I know the team did a very thorough scrub. They tried to catch this as best they could. And it seems like, for the most part, they have cleaned this up for the regular non-foil cards. There is the one MoonClan Werewolf, and that was the error. So I'm going to show you guys, if you didn't see my box opening or my short that I did of this, I featured the first error card that was ever discovered for Alpha in my box opening. So the MoonClan Werewolf by Alan Pollock, Santiago Caruso. So it's a misattribution of artist name in the foil variant only. That is the silver lining. In the non-foil, we have that corrected. Doesn't affect gameplay, but it's always, obviously unfortunate with misattribution of art to the wrong artist. So that'll be fixed in beta. It makes it for an interesting anomalous type thing in the alpha boosters. So yeah, what's up, CG Label? Watch it back later, man. It'll get posted. So I was showing spellcraft cards here, and we were speculating on curio potential because we're finding different type line text, different titles, many differences that could transcend into curios if Eric chooses to do so. All right. Take care, Sophie. Good night. All right. So exceptionally skilled mortals Violent Magic. Stay out of the way of this ordinary magic. Ordinary Beasts. An elite but uncontrollable mythic emerges in artwork we haven't seen yet from Jeff Easley. Very heavily nods towards Heaven and Hell, Angels and Demon potential. We got The Ruins by Dan Seagrave. And I think there's some nuance there. Again, if I go to the website, let's take a look at the Dan Seagrave page. Yeah, I apologize if I'm not holding the cards in the best spot. Got the camera kind of unaligned. Yeah, so it's still called Ruins. Very different color with the local printing. This is a dual land site, so it's a significant Atlas site in the game. Wind howls and fire flares in one exceptional site. And now it says an exceptional site of fire and air. And it has flavor text only. So this is just a descriptor that's kind of redundant, that it gives you both tower and desert effect. But there's something interesting here, guys. Curio potential. Let's take a look. All right. So I need to show. It's a shame Sophie just left, because I know she's into this. But we have another potential curio finding. Take a look at the artwork in the alpha version of Ruins. You see these ruins in the background here? Subtle. Very subtle, right? The flat terrain. This is the feature. This should be the feature, the ruin. So I could totally see how in the illustration development concept, Eric could have asked Dan to remove... In painting, you can remove elements like this, right? Because this becomes the background, and you kind of gray this out and make it merge. Keep this in mind when I show the spellcraft cards. All right, so I'm going to remove that. I'm going to go again, the full feature, and take a look, guys. In the early spellcraft version of this card, so it dates back a few years, no ruins in the foreground. You see that? And the night sky was also subdued here around the ruin, so it's a little darker. The sky in general is more dark, more ominous, and it looks like everything else is roughly the same. So if I had to guess, in the original illustration, Dan Seagrave painted these ruins in the background, and then they were removed or painted over and eliminated for the final alpha version of this illustration. So very interesting finding. Man, this is timely. To take a closer look at these as we're discovering curios and trying to come up with new curio potential. So you guys need to keep an eye out for these things. Look very closely at everything for these curios. Look at the artwork, the text, the power symbols and designs. Very interesting. They are two different paintings for ruins. Are they? Do we know that for a fact? Did you talk to Seagrave about this? I mean, in many cases, they're not two different paintings. They are adjusted paintings. They made changes, right? Which you can do with traditional painting to some extent. So I know the color looks different, but again, guys, the spellcraft cards were locally printed, so the color values mean nothing. That does not imply that it's a different painting on its own. Okay. Someone was asking, what is a curio? A curio is a rare chase card in alpha. We believe that. Oh, Dan has two versions for sale. Okay, thanks, Ron. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I didn't realize that. All right, so he repainted the whole thing. Nevertheless, that could be a curio, because it's fairly comparable. So maybe you just thought it'd be easier to repaint it all. But yeah, you got to look at the illustrations because there were changes. But getting back to what is a curio card. A curio card, all we know about it is that it has something relating to the historical development of the game. That's literally all we know. We don't know the rarity, the pull rates. We don't know what they are fundamentally. So we're discovering them anew. So it's very interesting. Yeah, so Dan has two versions for sale. That's awesome. I own one Dan Seagrave painting, and I've never revealed it. So someday I will. I have some framing to do. I spoiled a lot of mine that I own. So yeah, we talked about this. The different variants of the desert were simply called desert. So again, curio potential. Be careful with the names. Look closely. See if the names have changed on the new cards. all of the Tower cards in the early days were simply called Tower. You know, it wasn't the Lone Tower or the Dark Tower. So curio potential again. So I have 2 copies of this very interesting Seagrave painting, and apparently that's a different painting. He did 2 paintings. That's really cool. Let's see, more towers, deserts, teleport by Pompetti. We have the dragon by Jeff Easy, an elite dragon. Nothing particularly interesting there. Let me check on that actually. Is that in the? Do we still have dragon as a minion type? Does anybody know that in the chat? Yeah, what's up, TCG Society? So I'm looking for that Easley painting of the Eastern Dragon. And I want to say, was that one of the Pledge Pack or Box Topper cards? Let me see here if I have one of those. Yeah, here you go. An Elite Dragon of Long Horizons. All right, so no nuance there. Nothing particularly different. So that's cool. All right, so we got a Quicksilver Flow of Magic, Elite Magic. I got the little baby tokens in there, the foot soldiers. Peasant Rebellion, Tower, and Elite Insects. We talked about that. Exceptional Relic. All right, so nothing of particular note there. Let me put these aside so my camera doesn't go crazy. We got the Fireball. I think someone was saying earlier they covet that Fireball. Talking spellcraft cards for a few people that just chimed in here. Highland Titan. It's now called Radiance Titan. Be careful of the names. Curios. Potential. New artwork we haven't seen. The York Crossbowman. This is a subtlety we may or may not see. So this in the... I should organize my cards by artist because I don't have it handy. But this was also shrunken down a little bit in the final alpha version. It doesn't go up to the title, this little tower in the background, because that's, that was cleaned up. So that's pretty cool. Curio potential, maybe. I don't know. Quarrel Cabalds, Exceptional Goblins. Let's take a look at the Alan Pollock page. Are they still called goblins? That's a pretty classic term in TCGs, obviously. Yeah, they're now Exceptional Goblins. Raise a ruckus instead of cause a ruckus here. Nice. All right, we got the Spire Lich by Vasily, the epic and hideous artwork, appalling, disturbing artwork of the Pudge Butcher. So, a greedy monster, it says. Is he still called a greedy monster? I love that. Let's take a look at Brian Smith. I got my website on the other screen. Where you at, Pudgy? Pudgy. He's an exceptional demon now. So take a look, guys. He was a greedy monster in early days. Now he's just a pudgy little demon. Used to be a greedy monster. Pudgy little demon. Oh, that poor bastard Pudge Butcher. Could be a curio. Maybe he'll rise to fame once again. The greedy little monster. All right. The Ornithopter, Ordinary Relic, Quick Magic. We got an Elite Mortal for the Pilgrim. We got an Elite Demon for the Shackle Cerberus. Ordinary Act. An Ordinary Act that works like magic. So let's go to the Drew Tucker page. And yeah, the resolution isn't great. Should I double my subscription cost for the 1080p? 1080p. I got to up it. $25 a month to $50 if I want to go to 1080p. I don't know. Maybe it's necessary. I'm going to be doing a lot of openings on the channel. So, yeah, I might consider doing that, especially once I get my alpha product, because I'm going to be opening a lot of boxes, several cases. All right, so we're looking for Common Sense, Jeff Menges. Oh, no, I'm looking at Jeff Menges. That's a problem. It's a Drew Tucker card. All right, so Drew Tucker, clicked on the wrong page. My bad. All right. Drew Tucker, Common Sense. The ordinary pairs as magic to some. So this action word, act. And I don't know if that's a mechanic word or just kind of like part of the typeline text, but an ordinary act that works like magic. Really, magic is the key word. So I don't think there's any significance to act. Later, Daniel. Thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it. All right. Backstab. Exceptionally unexpected magic. We got the rattlesnakes. Ordinary snakes. Exceptionally skilled mortals on the bowman. We saw the crossman. We saw the new art of the sleeping giant. Exceptionally deadly spider for a scored spider. The panorama manticore, an elite beast. An elite undead hunting for treasure. So the scavenging fiend. Let's take a look at that. Another very interesting. I think there's a story here, guys. Let's take a closer look at Dan Seagrave. Hey, what's up, Angel? Thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate that. All right, guys. All right, so the Scavenging Fiend. I remembered it incorrectly. I thought that this was inverted, left to right, where the Scavenging Fiend was moving in the other direction. I wonder if I'm thinking of the Wicked Witch. I could have sworn it was Scavenging Fiend, but I'd really have to do some digging. Let's see, guys. Let me see. Let's take a look here. I'm going to show you the website again really quick. So let's pop that up. So there he is, the Scavenging Fiend, moving left to right. Let's go to the Sorcery Full Art Gallery real quick. And here's all the... Look how... This is the best page on the internet. The best page on all of the internet. I've said it before. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Look at the full art of Sorcery in all its glory. So I'm looking for the Dan Seagrave art. Well, actually, hang on. All right, so here we go. A nicer looking image that we were talking about before of the tower. You know, the flat background. Doesn't have the raised mountains like we saw for the Curio. Keep on going, Dan Seagrave. All right, take a look, guys. You see it? You see what I'm talking about? What's he doing? He's going right to left. Where is he going? Where is he going? Right to left. Look at it. I clicked on the wrong monitor. He's going right to left. Right to left. Now let's get him out of here. Let's watch him go left to right. All right. To the ruins. Now he's going away from the ruins. But the point is, look closely when you pull this card. Maybe you'll find a curio of the other artwork. And this is very easy to miss, right? Because it's subtle. Instead of going left to right in the early days, in this early art version, it was inverted. He's going right to left. And if I had a predestination or Kythera mechanism, I would show you that in my original painting, the Kythera mechanism was inverted. So, there you go. There's a piece of history. Whether it's a curio or not, you got a piece of history. Ordinary magic and realms where dragons rule. Ordinary beasts. Common sense. All right, ordinary snakes. Other art. We looked at these, didn't we? Scored spider, the sleeping giant, the bowman. I'm backtracking a bit. All right, so let's catch up. Dispel. Quick magic. We know that the quick effect has changed. So I don't believe that would be a curio. You can't mess around with these. I think it's going to have to be... Let's talk about curios for a minute. I think it's going to have to be significantly different for a curio to be a curio. Because I think they're non-playable. Right? If you introduced a card and the mechanic said quick magic, that had significant meaning in how that game was played. It meant you could play it on your opponent's turn. Kind of like an interrupt in Magic or an instant or whatever the hell they call it. I haven't played Magic in 25 years. So, quick magic, right? So, you can't make it just quick magic and that's your curio, just that word. It would have to be something substantially different. Maybe like some of the casting cost elements, dramatically different like we saw it on a 9-piece card. Something that makes it unplayable. Because if you introduce a card that says Quick Magic, suddenly you could have alternate game formats, or you could have some wacky things with people showing up in tournaments, something subtle like that. It could disrupt the gameplay. So I think curios are actually going to be a lot more significant than some of us realized. Fundamentally different, non-playable cards. That's what we're learning, like the sketch card. They have to be, because they're so rare too. You can't possibly make a curio playable. For one reason, people won't have access to the card. That's a problem. But even more so, if a mechanic's different, then you start getting like alternate gameplay versions of the card. I know that was a thing in Magic, and that's cool, and that like changed the format for the better. A lot of people think in modern Magic, from a playing perspective at least. But we can't have that in early Sorcery. I guess we will. Like we'll have fun, like ways to design along the core mechanic of how the card's supposed to work, and get creative with that. But you don't want fundamentally different things that are so rare as only curios that make it like impossible, and that creates a whole different game experience for people that they can't enjoy because they don't have that card. All right. So I think we saw all these. Yeah. Let me just double back. Got a lot of these curios. Not curios, spellcraft cards. See? Spellcraft. So we got those. A lot of them. A lot more. All right. So I got the whole lot. I think we combed through these. Yeah. Very interesting stuff, guys. One thing I wanted to do, and I'm going to wrap it up soon. We've been going for a while. And we're going to have I'm going to take our time tomorrow and have a real nice event. There it is. I want to take a look at those tokens really quick. Tomorrow we'll focus on the alpha cards. Bino, sucks the crown of victors was capped at 32 players. Well, let's see how many people show up, I mean, Gen Con isn't exactly in a city that people want to travel to. I don't know. I don't want to diss the city. Maybe it's cool. I've never been there, but I wouldn't think to go to Indianapolis. So who knows what the turnout will be. We'll get a foot soldiers, guys. You see it? Do you see it? It's different, right? You see how it's different? Can anybody guess how it's different? Take a look. See if the others are different. What do I focus on? I have a lot of these. And these ones are just paper print. Look how badly miscut this is. It's just paper printed, no big deal. So maybe I'll give some away. But what is different about this? More zoomed out. There you go. All right, so where is my... Do I have my pre-con deck kit? Not only more zoomed out, but what happens when you zoom out with a traditional painting from the artist? I haven't... More zoomed out, he says. Look at a size difference. You see that? See the size difference? There you go. Look, this is from the Alpha pre-constructed box kit. 2 soldiers prominently featured. Look who's to the left of this guy. Nothing. Look who's to the left of this guy. These poor bastards dying on the hill. Look at that. The original artwork is different. Maybe, could we have a token curio? Could there be curios in the Alpha pre-constructed box that has the token soldiers? I don't know. Look at this guy. We got, even here. Oh, no. So we got a dead soldier laying across the ground here. Take a look, guys. Look at that soldier. We have a wounded or dead soldier, and it's hard to see. Maybe I do need that 1080p. It looks like it is hard to make out. I'm sorry, I was looking at it myself a little closely. Right here, the green and the blue. You look at the final version and take a look. It's gone. It's gone completely. And I don't think it could be covered. Is it covered by this text box? it could be partially covered by this text box. And is it full art on the back? There's not a look how tightly sealed this is. This is going to be a little challenging to cut with a crude axe tool that works as a knife, but I think I could get the lip of this seal. I haven't opened these yet, but we need to open them to solve this mystery live at the Collector Arthouse. All right, let's take a look. All right, guys. So on the back of this foot soldier, simply says token. We do not get to see the full art, and these will not be in foils. So the full art of these will never be seen nor appreciated except in the original painting. All right? I love these little foot soldiers. Andrea Modesti is amazing. He's one of my favorite artists. Period. Not even in just Sorcery. The Flood. Mikhail Nagypaw, man. He is absolutely absurd talent. He can do so many different things. But there you go. Old school foot soldiers from the spellcraft versus new. Significantly different. We got a soldier that healed. Or he's been dragged off by his comrades. We have two guys off screen, deceased on the hill. Went down in live action. All right, guys. So that's pretty fascinating. Let's take a look. Again, this is going to be going up for auction tonight. What's going up for auction? For those of you that just joined, on the Sorcery Contested Realm community group on Facebook and in the Collector Arthouse Discord. After this post live in a few minutes, when I wrap this up, you got to go to the Linktree account for Collector Arthouse. The link will be in there. You can find all my platforms. I got several Facebook groups. The marketplace is booming. Where are we at the marketplace? It's growing pretty quick. All right, so let me go to the marketplace too. Has seen some action lately. The Canadians posting a lot of sealed product. 892 members. Holy shit, that really exploded. So we were at, we just hit 800 recently. So we're pushing, that's going to hit 1,000 before I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube. It's a marketplace, what do you expect? So Sorcery Contested Realm Marketplace, buy, sell, trade. Nearly 900 members. We got the Sorcery Contested Realm community group. Closing in on 1,800 members. We're going to hit 2,000. But I was going to show you guys, and I'll tuck this bad boy back in. This is one of the just paper printed, not a normal spellcraft. I'm going to tuck these guys back in the sleeve. We'll do a giveaway somehow, some way. Sometimes I do a lot of giveaways in the Patreon. It's not random. I just give away some stuff to Patreon supporters. But I think for some of the higher tier backers, I need to do more. So maybe I'll give them a little taste of spellcraft. But this Ruler of Thol foil, Frank Frazetta foil. One of the first ever pulled. I think I saw someone else pulled one of these too. So possibly the first ever pulled in Sorcery TCG Alpha will be going up for auction tonight. 24-hour auction, or maybe a little earlier. I usually launch at 8 p.m. I might just wait. Should I wait? Maybe I'll just wait till 8 p.m. I'll give you guys some time to sign up in the Sorcery Contested Realm community Facebook group or on Collector Arthouse Discord. I mirror the auctions in both places. So if you don't like being on Facebook, you want to come into my Discord and bid, feel free. You can place a bid there, and then I'll post it to Facebook. If you want to be on Facebook and you think Discord's a shit show, don't sign up for Discord. Come on Facebook, place a bid. I will mirror that in Discord. So people are up to date on both sides. And that's how the auctions work. They're 24 hours, mirrored, Collector Arthouse Discord, Sorcery, Contested Realm community group on Facebook. Almost 1,800 members. That auction will go live tonight, 8 p.m. 24 hours, 8 p.m. tomorrow. This gorgeous, breathtaking, iconic Frank Frazetta artwork in full art on the back of the foil. And this is alpha, pulled from a booster box this week. One of the very few that have been discovered. There's going to be less than 300 copies based on the pull rates and the print quantity. Expected to be about 300 copies of this card. Extremely, extremely rare. All the uniques are very rare. Got a little dust on the sleeve. So it's a stunning card. It's Frank Frazetta, the absolute legend. The only deceased artist licensed for Sorcery TCG Alpha. The great Frank Frazetta. So look for that tonight, guys. Thank you for hanging in there. For those of you that have been on for the past hour and a half. I thought this would be a short stream. Didn't expect it to go that long. So I really appreciate all the support. It's a lot of fun doing these lives. Please like, subscribe, share the channel, share the videos. Help me get to 1,000. We'll have a big 1,000 member celebration. I'll do a video. I don't know if I'll do a live or like a recorded video. Maybe a recorded video. Maybe, I don't know. I want to tell my story about how I did the Avatar of the Realm pledge. Top pledge sorcery, $10,000. Big leap. I'm not like a wealthy rich guy, so that was pretty bold leap of faith move for me, just because I absolutely love the art. I love these artists. Discovered a lot of great new artists in this game. It's super thrilling. I really think this is a unicorn project. I'm going to call it the best art project of this century. Out of respect for early vintage Magic the Gathering that put TCGs on the map, I will say this is the best art project of this century. Has potential to be best of all time if it goes the distance and it lasts for several years, because the artwork is stunning. The eclectic diversity, the stylistic diversity of all the different artists, old and new, legends from TSR, Magic the Gathering, new artists we're just discovering. This is what it's all about. This is what gets you excited about the game. The artwork, the artists, the people themselves, great people, great artists, incredible, unbelievable talent. The Frazetta, the card quality, the foil quality. These foils blow you away as you pull these out of the packs. It's just unbelievable. So it's incredible. Someone's saying 1% chance to pull a foil. Are you talking about any specific foil? Yeah. Oh, per pack? No. They're like one in 4 packs is a foil, but there's like 60 different unique foils, right? And one in 5 packs is a unique, 1 in 4 is a foil. So to get a unique foil is extremely rare. And then the math tells you there's about 300 in a print run of 30,000 boxes. So these unique foils are going to be exceptionally rare. I want to say the Alpha Black Lotus was on the order of 1,000 copies. The Heart of Fyendel from Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood. Yeah. So there's like 500 of those or so. This is on another level, in my opinion. In my humble, biased as hell opinion, as the ultimate fanboy of Sorcery, it's Sorcery up here. Other games. A little lower. Down here. For me, they're down here. It's off the screen. They don't exist in my mind because I could care less. This is the only game I care about. And that's what it's all about. Look at how gorgeous this card is. It's not my card. This is a consignment deal with somebody. The cards I'm going to show tomorrow, they were not my case, not my boxes. I paid for somebody to ship those cards to me so I could showcase them for you and the community, have a great time, a great reveal, a great experience. And then when I get mine, I'm in America, so I'm going to be waiting a few more weeks at least. I'm going to be opening a shitload of boxes on this channel. Probably multiple cases. All right? I top pledged it. So I get 4 cases from the Avatar of the Realm pledge, and that's not all. I got a couple cases beyond that. So there'll be a lot of live action. A lot of fun, maybe some recorded videos for beta. Selling some beta booster boxes. I'm going to have plenty of beta for myself, hopefully, if it's not like wildly allocated. and we'll do openings, and do openings for others too. And we're gonna do sample pack breaks on the channel. I'm getting a bunch of sample packs, so we'll have some breaks you could buy into if you want to get like a single card and have a chance to hit the Philo Stone or some high end card in the Elite or Unique slot, or just whatever. You know, it'll be reasonably pricey. You don't walk away with nothing. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's it, guys. Look for this card at auction very soon. Sorcery Contested Realm Community Group, Collector Arthouse Discord. Please like, subscribe, share the videos, share the channel. Yeah, and enjoy it. Good luck to all you guys in Canada pulling boxes. Wish you all the best. It's been amazing seeing all the curios. I hope you trade me some of those. my tier goes original paintings, artist proof cards with paintings, curios, foils. That's my tier list, all right, of what I'm most interested in. Are we able to alpha break? So let me just catch up on some of the comments. If you guys have any questions, I'll stick around for another 5 minutes. Dude, where's my cards? Dude, where's my cards? I asked you saw the reaction I got. So look at this. Eric was like this. Blank if you got my cards. He doesn't got them. They're on the slow boats. All right. I never thought of sleeving them, but now I might. Gotta be joking, man. Come on. He's joking. Ripping it like a barbarian. All right, what else we got going on? Let's see. If you guys have questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm starving. I took the kids to the pool. I haven't eaten much. When is the stream tomorrow? Good question. 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right? We do mid-afternoon because we want the Europeans to participate. The people in France, especially, I want to give a shout-out to France because people in France are absolute legends. They get the best polls. They're like the nicest people in the world. They have the most godly artists in the world in Severin Pignot. France is like on fire with this game. So shout out to you guys. All the Europeans are just awesome. I never had a bad experience with a European. So thank you guys for the support. Let's see. What is the Alchemy 9? Somebody answered that. So we got the 4 mixes by Elvira Shakarova. You might see some of those tomorrow. We got the 4 cores by Melissa Benson. Might see some of those tomorrow. And we got the Philo Stone. Maybe. I sold the only sample card Philo Stone. And now we'll see if we see one from Alpha. All right? I don't have a foil Philo. Do I have another Philo? Maybe. Do I have am I bluffing about the foil? Got to tune in tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Hope you feel better. I'm good, man. Thanks, Ethersap. Are you talking about some other? Or is there another mic? Someone's traveling? Yeah, it must be somebody else. All right. Oh, Mark from France. What's up, man? Yeah, French people, man. Super nice. Love all the French people. I posted a sleeping review in general on Sorcery Discord. Yeah. I did a little sleeving and an impromptu live, too, with the re-sleevables from the professor. Put that out there. All right, any last-minute questions, guys? We've been going long. Appreciate you turning in. Look for this at auction. We'll put the first price marker, public data point out there for how much the foils are, how much the most iconic foils are. When you talk Frank Frazetta, when you talk uniques, those are the most iconic cards in the game in foil. If you want to eliminate 25 copies, 29 copies of artist proofs with God tier paintings on the back, or sketches, or original paintings. Just talking cards beyond the artist proofs. The full art cards and the foils. Frank Frazetta. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. Watch it back when it posts if you missed it or you joined late. We had a lot of fun on the channel. We speculated on curio cards. We got a lot of theories. We talked stories about the existing curios that have been discovered, and there's a lot more coming. Take care, everybody. Appreciate it. See ya.